Hello, hello.
Hello, Toby. How
How
are
are you
you?
doing? How are you doing,
I'm
Jorge?
doing
I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but yeah,
it.
but
It's
here
okay.
I am finally.
It's okay. I imagine it's been busy days for you.
Yeah, yeah, but it's I think everything is it's good busy,
Yeah.
it's people are interested in what I'm having to say, so I don't really perceive this as work. It could be much worse,
And let's talk about Your Dragons. That's why we're here. When did you start working on the songs for the album?
It's really hard to say because the songs I'm constantly writing and writing music for me and playing music and letting my feelings out at the piano and turn it into songs or just melodies or whatever. That's a constant process. It's like writing diary. Um, and I always constantly write and I put my ideas in the drawer and as I said, it's like therapy for me, and whenever I have a feeling, and it subconsciously happens every, I don't know, 2 years or something, I have a feeling, oh, it, it it could be the right time to start really the more intensified work on a new album, more focused and really with the goal of putting an album together. Then I go through those ideas and finish them and put them, in the right shape. And I think that may have happened sometime in 23, I believe, something like that. Um, yeah, something like that. I don't, I don't necessarily know because while I say playing music is like writing diary, I don't really
I
write
d-
diary. Uh, so I can't really say exactly when I started, but I would say sometime in 23, maybe late 22.
Cool.
That's when I started to work on it, I think.
Yeah, and one of the questions that I always on my mind when you're writing, when you start working really on the songs, you said you keep melodies and stuff like that, but when you're working on the song and when you're developing it, do you already have in mind whom you want to sing on that song?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I finish a song without thinking about it and just see who would be the right duet partner afterwards. So there is no rule really. Um, I remember, for example, when I wrote the song with Bob Catley, the Bring On the Night. That song, for example, it was just written with Bob in my head. That was really obvious from the very first note on because I had a feeling it was a almost sacred moment. And I'm not bullshitting here.
Yeah.
It's really I was watching football, Turkey against the Netherlands, the European Championship, and all of a sudden I had the feeling I have to play piano. And usually I don't do that when I watch football. I watch football then, but I got up and I played the piano, and I have a picture of drawn by Rodney Matthews over my piano, and I started to play, and within 5 minutes, I had the essence of the song. And I knew it would be a tribute to Magnum. I knew it would be a Bob Catley sung song. And it was very obvious. And I went back to I recorded my ideas on my phone, went back to the football game, finished it. I mean, watched it till the end, and then went to my studio and did the whole song. I think within, I don't know, that night, and maybe I did some additional parts the next day, but uh so that song was obviously a tribute to Tony Clarkin and Bob Catley and Magnum, and it was there. Some other songs, for example, I wrote this time. A lot of those songs were just written with a song in my mind and finding a right singer afterwards. I believe the song with Jeff Tate, it was written with Jeff in mind, but songs like The Moorlands at Twilight with Mickey Kiske, or the song with Kenny Lacremo, Against the Wind, or The Witch
Yeah.
with Tommy Karevik, the Adrian Cohn song, Avalon, uh, the Ronnie Atkins song, all the songs, I think all the other songs were written with no specific singer in the back of my head. Um, I just, this time it's not it's not an ongoing story. It's not like a metal opera project
Yeah.
or a Broadway musical. It's not, there's nothing pretentious about it. I really wrote every song just with a song in mind, and I didn't even think about who would be the singer afterwards. I tried to find the right singer afterwards. So um yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
approach, but I think you can hear that the album somehow sounds a little bit fresh and a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next, because you know, it's a great record, but still feels different from the previous two records in a way, you know, and probably that's because you were focusing on writing the songs and not having to develop like a whole story around it or something. I don't know, but it really sounds like a rejuvenated Avantasia.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better. And the funny thing is, I don't know exactly why that is, but I agree 100%. It sounds very fresh. It sounds punchy. It sounds very directly or direct, as if it's coming directly from the subconscious mind. It's just there's nothing, no second guessing. But I think it sounds very. I mean, it's not a happy album, but it sounds positive. It
Yeah.
sounds elevated. It sounds powerful. It sounds. That's why I said in some interviews, I said it almost reminds me a little bit of Hellfire Club of Ed Guy, because it's I don't know how to say it, but it's very, very um piss and vinegar, as the Americans say. It's straightforward. It doesn't beat around the bush. It doesn't care about a storyline. It doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
And I believe it's a very big contrast to the previous two records, especially because I believe I'm trying to analyze it myself, and I don't have the ultimate answer to why that is. But the two previous records have been dealing with a lot of, or lots of um, melancholic topics
Yeah.
that were really, really sitting on my, or hanging above me like a cloud. I had to get things off my chest, and those albums were very introverted, and they were very introspective, and you could tell that I needed to get things off my chest. They were quite a bit burdened, I
Yeah.
would say. They are wonderful albums, don't get me wrong. I love Paranormal Evening, and I also love Moonglow.
Moonglow.
But I think this new album is none of that. I was a blank canvas again. I think I had tidied up myself inside, and it was just an album. I just wanted to go I just wanted to do things, let off my musical ideas, let them out, and just, just play it. Just deliver something, not even planning in advance where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And that's sorry. I had
It,
just a coffee. Sorry.
it's
No, yeah.
what I feel. It's like it's freeing this record. It's, you know, I'm going to make a pun out of the title, but it seems like you let the dragon fly.
I let the dragon fly, and I also think I was just about to refer to the title. I think the title is very descriptive, even though it was not planned like that in the very beginning. But the album, I realized throughout the process that actually the title is a very, very good title for this one, because Here Be Dragons is a term used on an ancient map that was indicating uncharted territory. They were saying, okay, here there may be dragons, because they didn't know what was lurking there. So
Yeah.
that was a warning of potential danger. And to me, it sounded like an invitation. It sounded like, okay, let's go there. Don't worry, let's go there. It sounds like adventure. I don't know what lurks around the corner. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to come out. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And also, it's the first record that is not a conceptual album by any means in Avantasia. And of course, I was asking myself the question, can you do something like that? Is it still Avantasia? And I said, okay, I am the governor of Avantasia.
Yeah.
I have the confidence that whatever I do, it will sound like Avantasia. It will be 100% Avantasia. And I determine the rules.
Yeah.
It's my own world. So of course I make the rules. And I'm so happy I went for it. I'm even so happy to have started the opening track, Creep Show. Uh, I knew I would get some flack for it because it sounds a little bit like an Ed Guy song, like Lavatory Love Machine or King of Foods or what have you, Love Tiger. It's a bit tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And I thought, is there any room of that for that in Avantasia? And I answered that question to
Yeah.
myself with absolutely, absolutely.
It's I didn't understand the slack you got for the Creep Show. To be honest, I think it's a fun song. It's an you know it's a nice song. I didn't I even I care less about people's opinions normally, but I didn't understand why there were some backlash towards the song because it's a fun song. Maybe people were expecting a duet right away for a first single. I don't know what they were expecting, but I think it was again a different approach to present these new records, and for me it was a great idea, to be honest.
Thank you. I thought it was great fun and it was a bit controversial, but then again, controversy is not too bad if you want to sell something. But I didn't think about it that way. I mean, I didn't expect it to. I mean, most people loved it, and we got great airplay on some real big commercial stations, and I'm very, very happy. I'm not sure if it's even about the guest singers because if you look at the history of Avantasia, our singles were Lost in Space was the first single off of the Scarecrow. Of course, we got flack back
Yeah,
then too, but there was also Mystery of Blood Red Rose. Even on the first record, the first ever Avantasia single was
yeah,
Avantasia. And that song has two lines, two times two lines that are not sung by me. So it's Michael Kiske just making a very, very brief use your mind, you will leave the flesh dimensions behind. Sanity can be the toll, leading to the core of your soul. That's all that Michael Kiske sings. The rest
yeah.
of the song is sung by me. So we've always had those songs where it was preliminarily me. Um, so I don't think that's the reason. I think, one of the reasons is people want to have something to complain. People are absolutely unhappy if they don't have anything to complain. It's like people want the whole world to know how miserable they are.
There, yeah.
They just go on the internet and they just say, "Oh, today I'm going to write to Mercedes that their new Mercedes is not to my taste." And then they write something, "Hey, you suck. It looks stupid. Fuck you, Mercedes." And then they feel much better.
Yeah,
So that's the golden day and age of the internet
yeah,
and Facebook and all that
yeah.
crap.
And speaking of Kiske, he's the only singer besides yourself that actually is featured on every Avantasia studio record. Uh,
Mhm.
it's always you always find space for him on Avantasia. It's amazing, and fucking love him. He's such a great iconic voice.
He's also an amazing person, and we are friends. And it's very inspiring to be working with him and to have him sing my songs. I mean, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part Two was one of my first heavy metal records, and it was really, really important for me. And his voice, I mean, when I first heard him sing Eagle Fly Free, I knew I wanted to be a heavy metal
Yeah,
singer because before that, of course, I wanted to be Bon Scott and I wanted to be Angus Young and I wanted to be Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons and maybe Ian Gillan a little bit. But when I heard Michael Kiske, I thought, this is the way it's supposed to be. That's what I want to do. Of course, I couldn't do it, but it was, he was very influential to me, and he's a lovely chap, and we are constantly in touch. Sometimes we text more, sometimes we don't text for a month or something, or 2 months, but we're always in contact. We've always stayed in contact over these 26 years since I've known him. And he's yeah, we're friends, and he's a lovely person, and he's very inspiring. And as long as he has some time for me, it was really funny because when I had the song "The Moorlands at Twilight," I thought, oh, this would be a great Michi Kiske song. It was not written with him in the back of my head. It was just a good song, but I thought, hmm, it could be a Michael Kiske song. I'm gonna give him a call, and I said, "Hey, Michi, it's that time of the year again. Avantasia record. Avantasia calling. You're interested? I need you." And he said, "Oh yeah, sure. Let me hear it." And he heard it, and he said, "Oh, great track. It, he's wonderful. I really, really like him as a human being and as a singer, of course. And as long as he is open to be playing music with me, We'll do it.
Yeah,
It's he's wonderful.
yeah. And on this record, there's two firsts. Tommy, as you mentioned earlier on The Witch, Tommy Carrick from Camelot, and Kenny from Eat. Um,
Mhm.
I got to tell you, Tommy Karavik is my favorite singer at the moment in the heavy metal world. The guy has an amazing voice. I mean, he can sing the fucking, Yellow Pages and it would sound amazing. I don't know what's with his voice. How did it come, this opportunity to have Tommy on an Avantasia record?
I knew him before. I knew him for a long time because he was. I mean, even before he was in Camelot, I met him at Sasha's place. He had been singing in a band called um,
Seventh
what's
Wonders?
the name of the band called? Seventh Wonder, exactly. And Alley Cat was one of the songs that I heard, and I thought, oh, great stuff, and great vocal performance, and great control, great voice. And then he sang in Camelot. It was around that time I got to know him around that time when he was auditioning for Camelot, and I was working on something for Avantasia or Ed Guy at Sasha's place, and he was there auditioning for Camelot, and you know, he was a very very lovely guy and very nice guy, and I've known him ever since then. And this year in 2024, we needed a singer for our live shows because I had planned with Kenny Lacremore, and Kenny was sick, and we needed somebody to fill in the last moment. And I said, okay, let's ask Tommy because it would be great to work with him also, and he's a great singer. He came in and he delivered absolutely fantastic, and he's such a lovely person. He fit in really well, and so I thought a little bit. He added something new to Avantasia,
Yeah,
and pretty much just like Kenny. Also, I mean, they both were in with Avantasia in 2024, and they both delivered great stuff. And I said, look, I want you both to be on the record. They're also going to join us on tour, both on the next European tour
cool.
in March, April. They are wonderful singers, and both. I mean, it goes for both. They have both something very unique, both an amazing control over they're very different to each other.
Yeah.
They're both Swedish, so they get something in common as well. Um, but it's and Ronnie is very happy. He said, "Yeah, the more Vikings, the better." Ronnie's looking forward to the tour. He said, "Slowly but surely, the Vikings are going to take over Avantasia." Um, yeah, it's they're both. Tommy is a great singer, and Kenny is also a great singer. Two new singers, and I think it was great to have a shot of an injection,
Yeah.
a shot of fresh blood into the veins of Avantasia.
Yeah, and also we're speaking of Camelot, Conception and ex-Camelot singer Roy Khan returns after the Scarecrow record. Again, I mean his voice is so unique, and the song "Everybody's Here Until the End" it's fantastic track, really really good. I absolutely love this
Thank you.
song.
Yeah, thank you. And he did a great job. And it was not planned, It was really funny because some people said, "Oh, it's such a genius move to have the former Camelot singer and the new Camelot or new." Well, Tommy's not the new Camelot.
Yeah,
The ex Camelot singer and the Camelot singer in on one record. It was not planned like that. It was just "Everybody's Here Until the End" was a song that I had written as a dedication to my late father who passed away in 2013, and it was about the relationship, or it is about the relationship that I still have with him. Even though he's not here anymore, he is here. And in my way of thinking, my way of approaching things, and whatever I do, quite often I ask like, "Oh, what would you do?" Um, so I get that answer from somewhere,
yeah,
even if it's just a memory. But anyway, I wrote that song, and it was a song that was so personal. I wanted to sing it by myself, but then I thought, oh, I've done the song justice by having written it myself. I can now let go and even open it up for some additional dimension and have some different angle to it. And I thought, who would be a great singer to to add that second dimension to it? And strangely, this time it was not the case. I didn't need somebody who would be able to sing really high. but I was looking for somebody who could sing really low and have that emotional tension and depth in low range vocals. And I was talking to Sasha, and I don't know who it was, if it was Sasha or me, but at some point after probably 3 or 5 minutes, it was just like, why don't we ask Roy? I mean, he has been singing in Avantasia before on the
Yeah.
Scarecrow album. So yeah, that was really, it was just like, I was wondering, like, will he do it? Is he still doing stuff like that? But Sasha asked him, and he said, yeah, yeah, send me the song. I want to hear the lyrics first. He's very picky about
Yeah.
lyrics. And he said, okay, I need good lyrics. Otherwise I don't want to sing it. And apparently they were good enough for him. So he did it. I explained the song to him, and then explained the song, the meaning of the song, and also that it was not very easy for me to have somebody else in there to sing along with me, because as I said, it's a song personally addressed to somebody really close to me. And um, but yeah, he did a wonderful job,
Yeah.
and I don't regret it at all. It's just it's wonderful. It's absolutely great performance. And funnily, when I first heard his performance in the second verse, I thought, is that Robbie Williams singing? He's I've always said Roy is a pop singer, or he was, and still with Conception, he's a pop singer in a heavy metal band. He's not a heavy metal singer. He's a pop singer, and I mean it with the greatest respect,
Yeah.
because I love his voice. But he's got this Scandinavian pop appeal. But also Tommy is very good at singing pop. They both have this quality that not many heavy metal singers have. They can sing pop,
Yeah.
because they're so good, and their voices are so accessible, and they're not harsh. My voice, when I'm singing with Attack, I sound like a raging Smurf. But they sound very smooth.
Yeah.
They sound pop.
And we spoke about guests, and throughout these many years with Avantasia, you had a lot of guests, probably a lot bucket list, musicians to work with. Is there still anyone that you would like to have in an Avantasia record that you haven't had the chance yet?
There are people that mean a lot to me, and singers like, be it Brian Johnson, or be it Paul Stanley, or uh, Bruce Dickens and Rob Halford. There are people that inspired me a lot and that I would love to work with. But I have to say, I don't have a bucket list anymore. I'm 47 years old now. I think I get too old to have bucket lists. it's it's and that doesn't mean that I plan to stop tomorrow.
Yeah.
I really have a lot of things to do, but I'm just enjoying the way it floats. I'm just enjoying going on where there may be dragons without making too many plans, because usually there's a saying, life is what happens while you're making plans, and usually things um, turn out to become different than what you have
Yeah.
planned, and that's why I don't have that trophy collection thinking anymore. I think I never really had it. But I've experienced so much. I've been allowed to work with the greatest in the history of rock. I mean, Jeff Tate and Michael Kiske, two of the most influential heavy metal singers in the world, having an impact on generations of singers.
Yeah.
I've worked with Alice Cooper. I've worked with Klaus Meine and Rudolf Schenker of the Scorpions. Um, we've toured with Iron Maiden, I've toured with Aerosmith, with Deep Purple, played with Kiss, I've toured with the Scorpions, I've toured with Slash in South America, played arenas. I don't say this to brag. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to put it in the right perspective, that I've been allowed to do so many great things. It's just, everything has been a huge gift,
Yeah.
and I would feel really ungrateful if I would put a lot of names in a bucket and hand it to God and say, please, these guys next, please.
Yeah.
Um, I'm quite happy and thankful. And to be honest, the people I have on that record, on the new record, they are not there because I didn't get anybody else.
Yeah.
They are there because those are the people I really wanted, and those are the people that got the best out of those songs. And that's what I'm most thankful about.
Yeah.
I want to have those people are on the record, because the result is what it is, and I can't I can't imagine to it to be only a tad better with somebody else singing. It would be, in fact, I think, worse.
Yeah, and just wrap it up. European tour coming very soon. Stage wise, what are you guys preparing for the
Uh,
fans? It's going to be big shows, obviously. I'm actually planning. I'm not sure if I can make it yet, but I'm trying to make it to Berlin. I know it's not the biggest arena, but
no,
I
go somewhere else.
that's what the guy from the label told me. Just choose another German city.
Oh yeah, yeah. Berlin is not heavy metal rock city. It's not. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about Berlin, because somebody may listen to the interview and say like, "You fucking wanker! I'm from Berlin." But usually, the Berlin show, compared to other shows, it's like, it's not the biggest arenas. It's not a
Yeah,
heavy metal place. It's a punk place and a hip hop, and I would go to Stuttgart or Frankfurt, or Frankfurt is also, or Madrid, if you like. It's those places are going to be amazing.
yeah,
But any show, you can go to Bochum, you can go to Munich, Bamberg. Um, it's all Hamburg, all going to be great. We're going to bring a big show. We're going to bring trucks. We're going to bring the stage set, a huge stage set that is based on the stage set we had last summer, with fireworks and the walkways and the ramps and the pillars and the gates, and a whole lot of things, a burning piano, and we got a couple of other things that are up our sleeve that we are preparing. We want to go as far as we can without distracting from the music. It's theatrical, but still the music, it will be the main thing. It's not going to be like Gwar,
yeah,
where we're going to do all crazy. Oh, well, certainly not Gwar. It's a
yeah,
different kind of aesthetics, but yeah, it's. I think it's theatrical, but it's um, not the theater show is not going to be the center of
yeah.
it. The most important thing is the music, but it's going to be a big show.
Cool. Then I'll look for the other dates in Germany then probably. And not that I would mind going to Spain, but the problem with Spain is the Spanish. Otherwise, I would be fine with it. I'm joking.
Well, if you say so. I mean, I don't want to judge, but I can tell you it's full of Spanish people. It's like infested, Spanish infested it is. But
No,
in Germany, it's not much better. It's not the Spanish people in Germany that are annoying, but the
yeah,
Germans.
no, no.
We are full of Germans.
I was in Berlin in October and I actually loved the city and I enjoyed a lot. But yeah, I'll check another German dates. But for me the problem with Spain, it's normally because I'm a photographer as well, and normally in Spain there's a lot of photographers on the pit, and I don't feel comfortable with too many people on the pit. So I know in
If you
Germany,
want to take if you want to take great photos, don't go to Berlin, because Berlin is probably, I don't know how big. I've never been to that arena.
yeah,
It's an arena too, or a small arena, I believe. But if you want to have great pictures, I'd say you'd better go to Stuttgart or Frankfurt.
okay.
I think that's probably going to be.
I'll check those dates and then I'll email Napalm about it and try to sort that out. Toby, thank you very much for your time. All the best for your Be Dragons. Hopefully, I'll see you in a German city other than Berlin then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, nothing against. I don't want to talk
I
bad
know.
about Berlin. So if it's Berlin, so be it.
Yeah.
Then it's Berlin. We will play the full set in Berlin, and like everybody everywhere else, it's just going to be a smaller show.
Yeah.
Not the production, but the crowd is going to be.
Yeah. It's
It's full
smaller.
of Berlin people.
Toby,
No, I'm talking myself so deep into shit. Next, I'm gonna play in Berlin. I'm gonna enter stage, and everybody goes, "Ooh, fuck off, you idiot!" So I'm not gonna say anything anymore.
no, I love.
I just wanted to give you good advice.
Yeah, no, I love Berlin, but they had told me actually to try a different German city if I wanted to see the Avantasia show. But so I'll take that in account and I'll check it. And then hopefully I'll see you on this Earby Dragons tour, because the only time I saw you guys was at Bloodstock when you guys played there a few years ago. So I need to see you guys again. I just need to see it. So that's it. Toby, all right, I won't keep you
All
longer.
right.
Thank you very much. Have a great day and see you soon. All right.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.
Thank
Thank
you. You
you.
too. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.